Since we all started buying large LCDs and plasmas, is what an enormous amount of power they consume compared to the CRT tellies we all used to own. This year, though, things have started to change. Suddenly, it appears manufacturers are now concerned about the power consumption of their TVs, and some of them have started boasting about the energy efficiency of their latest ranges. Obviously, the attractions of a huge, great flat-screen telly can only increase if it's also going to save you money on your electricity bills. But are these new eco-conscious tellies any good, or just a horrible compromise? To find out, I embarked on some in-depth testing. I've chosen 5 of the best power-conscious TVs, each of which has all sorts of tricks to keep your energy consumption to a minimum. But which is the most efficient? To find out, I took my TVs to the laboratories of Intertech, who carry out performance testing on electrical gadgets. This is the lab where it all happens, with my 5 TVs ready to try out. But only 3 can go through to the next round of the test. So, Intertech's experts are going to help me sort the tree-hugging hippies from the power-hungry hippos. We activated any power-saving features that the tellies claim to have. Then we hooked each TV up to a power consumption analyzer and played a test film for 5 minutes to get the average wattage used. We also tested a standard television, one of last year's models, to use as a comparison. All 5 of our TVs beat last year's model for power consumption, but only the 3 most efficient could go through to the next round. First, the Sharp Aquos DH77, an LCD TV which uses ambient light sensors to dim the backlight and save energy. There are 2 eco settings you can apply on the Sharp. You can press the eco button on the remote, and that dims the overall level of the backlight. I'll go for the second of the settings, Advanced, which dims it the most. And you can go into the menu and switch on the automatic backlight dimming. They call it Optimum Picture Control. I'll do that as well, and it's making quite a difference. We calculated the average amount of TV a person watches a year, and this is how much they'd spend if watching our regular 270-watt TV. The Sharp used an average of only 74 watts, making a saving of £33.02 a year. That's 73% less than our standard TV. Next up, the Sony Bravia WE5 LCD. It has backlight control and also cuts power with the backlight itself, which uses hot cathode fluorescent lamp technology. One really fun thing about the Sony is that it's got a presence detector that picks up body heat in front of the telly. So if you go out of the room, say to make a cup of tea or something, it senses that you've gone and the picture switches off automatically, although the sound stays on. Then when you come back into the room, the picture comes on again. The Sony used an incredibly low 71 watts, which means you save £33.53 a year. Finally, the Samsung B7000. It's an LCD, again with backlight control, but that's not all. The particular energy-saving feature of this Samsung is that the backlight is made up out of LEDs rather than the usual fluorescent tubes. They claim this reduces power consumption by 40%. With the Samsung averaging 79 watts, you'd save £32.18 a year. So, our top 3 TVs make some very impressive energy savings. But there's no point in having a green TV if the picture quality makes you see red. To find which telly produces the best picture, I took our top 3 to TV critic Ian Hyland, a man not known for pulling his punches when it comes to quality. Ian, thank you for allowing me to invade your home with these TVs.
No problem.
How much TV do you normally watch?
I think I probably watch about 9 hours on average each day.
Wow.
On a weekday.
Ooh, so more than twice the UK average.
Yeah, well, I watch more than twice the rubbish that people watch in the UK, so...
But an eco TV could really benefit your electricity?
Well, yeah, it's on all day, practically, and sometimes I have 2 on, so obviously, if it's cheaper, that's fine by me.
Well, I've got 3 energy-saving TVs here, and I'd like you to tell me whether they're any good or horribly compromised. All 3 televisions can show full 1080p high definition. So first we checked out the picture with an HD programme.
First impressions are that the Samsung and the Sharp are very good picture quality. The Sony one, I know it's on the highest eco setting, but it's too dim. It might be because it's on the floor compared to the other 2. I don't know if that would make any difference, but...
And it's still just as dark from down here. I mean, you could only watch it actually in the dark, couldn't you?
You could watch it in the dark, or if you were watching really ugly people. I'd watch Big Brother on that TV, actually. That'd be perfect. I think the Samsung is better. It makes it a lot sharper for some reason.
Certainly got the best picture of the three.
Yeah, the Sharp, I'm really going off the Sharp, because it just blurs all the time.
So the Samsung had impressed Ian the most so far, but would it fare as well with standard definition, the true test of day-to-day TV viewing?
Sony's still dark.
Yep.
So it's consistent, if nothing else. Samsung, for me, is still the best one. The Sharp's okay on close-up shots, but the Samsung, it's a much better picture.
Samsung's lit by LEDs around the edge,
right.
And it means that the screen as a whole can be much, much thinner because there isn't that fluorescent tube in the back.
Yeah, well, that's nice if you want to stick it on the wall and not see it.
And the Samsung is the least economical marginally of the three. It's fractions of a p an hour.
Yeah, it's negligible, though, isn't it? I mean, you can do something else to save the planet. You could turn the fridge down, turn the heating off, give the kids an extra blanket.
John, a great piece. So let's give him a G rating.
3 Gs for the Sony. And you might think, because of the darkness of the picture, we'd give it less than that, but actually Sony have been almost too clever for their own good, because if you turn off just one setting, the power-saving setting, you end up with a picture that is at least as good as the other two. But when you do that, it's just not quite as economical as they are.
And what about the Sharp? I like the price. It's very inexpensive.
3 Gs for the Sharp. It is a good price, and it'll deliver a good picture in a normally lit living room. But the picture quality actually isn't the best, and the sound quality lets it down quite a bit.
And the Samsung, which is just beautifully designed.
4 Gs for the Samsung. It is actually really delightful to look at, and that thinness is spectacular. It's not perfect, it is expensive, but it really shows that you can get a great picture and have a TV that's very economical to run. It really does point the way to the future.
So, the Gadget Show's Eco TV of choice is the Samsung.
Now, gadget testing is something we take very seriously here on The Gadget Show, and it's something we take seriously on our website too. In fact, to make choosing which gadgets you should buy